morning. Welcome to another episode of Coco Caliente Podcast, where it's mother and daughter production, where we talk about everything and nothing all at the same time. I'm Nicole.
I'm Jenny. Good morning.
Okay, so this morning I am headed off to Ohio, which is so random. So we're podcasting on today is Sunday, and me, Arrow, and my husband Victor, are heading to Kalahari. It's a big water park. I think it might be the biggest one in the Midwest, it said. I don't know. Victor got antsy because he has a week off and he wanted to go somewhere. And I definitely wanted to go somewhere warm, but plane tickets are really outrageous right now. So what's better than an indoor water park? Because Arrow loves that. And I tried to talk my mom and dad into going, but...
And I was all keen on going. It's only, a 3.5 hour drive?
Yeah.
But today's Sunday, and we do have Florida coming up and stuff, and Dave said he doesn't want to take the extra days off work, but he was all for me going and him staying here by himself. He said, I got the house, you can go too, but in the end I decided to stay home and watch the dogs, and they can have a little family trip. And it's going to be weird for me though, 3 days without Arrow. It doesn't seem like, especially because I'm just with them every day, it's going to be like torture.
Did you say
my days are so quiet when he's not here?
Did you say that the last time you haven't seen him for more than 24 hours was Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
And that was way back in what month? August? No. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been August. A long time. And it's just weird because I'm with him. And so even if I just am not with him even if I'm not over there watching him or hanging out with them, I still see him for at least 2 hours a day because they'll miss me and they'll come over here and just hang out or have dinner or whatever. So on those days when I only see him for 2 hours or an hour and a half, it's weird to me because I'm so used to he's a commotion. Mm-hmm. He's like a tornado going around. So when that's not going on, my brain doesn't know what to do. It's kind of weird.
You get a little anxious.
I do, because I'll just be sitting there and
yeah.
I do enjoy time just doing what I like to do. But
you should read that book I gave you.
I got to do some housework. Dave's already today. Today's going to be the first day that they're gone, and he's already. You want me to load put the trailer up into the back or into the driveway, and you can load everything in it that we don't want? I said, absolutely not.
Are you kidding me?
I said today is Sunday, and then
hilarious.
Nicole's laughing a minute ago because she's like, Dad, what are you doing? And I'm like, what is he doing? And what's he doing?
Bringing a big love sack up to take to my brother's house.
From the basement, because it's pretty crowded down there, and Jesse's wants it for his house. So he's on the move already. I'm a little bit afraid of what I'm going to be in for the next 3 days. Maybe I better leave him with the dogs and hitch and go. I don't know.
Well, we love spending time with my parents, so we just want them to go too, because we have a room that has 2 beds. And then plus on top of it, it'd be fun because there's laser tag and escape rooms and stuff. And Victor and I wouldn't be able to play laser tag or anything because we can't take Arrow, or go down the water slides. Vic and I haven't even ever gone down a water slide together because I never went by myself either. He'll go and do some stuff and I'll watch Arrow. But when Mariah and Brian came to a water park with us, I went down a slide with them. But yeah, you don't really get to do all the full experiences as an adult if you have a toddler. So I was like, oh yeah, that would be fun, because then Mom and Dad would love laser tag too. And then we could all do an escape room together, but maybe we're still going to try an escape room with just us 2 and Arrow. We'll see how it goes. Because they have a zoo there too, but it's not open because it's cold outside. So it's all going to be inside stuff, but we're still going to have a good time. And
I already know that Arrow's going to want to spend a lot of time at the arcade, and he's going to want to swim. But he's especially going to he loves the arcade and action going on, and hopefully it's one where the tickets spit out because he likes that.
And the swimming thing though, I don't know. He only likes to do it for 2 hours, but you have to literally basically hold his hand the whole time,
And hotel rooms, I'm going to be honest, are hard with him, especially with 2 people. It will be really hard because they're so little, and I'm hoping you're packing some toys. Pack something interesting toys, some things that take a little bit of. I would definitely pack him some good toys, but he gets a little bit bored in the hotel rooms because it's 2 beds, and It's just literally like 2 beds in the window. If you're lucky and you got a window, hopefully you do. He'll look out the window, but he gets extremely, extremely bored in hotel rooms because it's all close quarters, so you got to make sure he's not.
I don't think he gets extremely bored.
In the hotel room, he likes to leave the hotel room.
Yeah, but I think because he knows there's exciting things, but he's fine in a hotel room. Like, I mean, not extremely bored, Mom.
I get extremely bored if I sit in a hotel room.
No, kids aren't supposed... See, that's bad on us because kids aren't supposed to get bored like that. Like, you can't entertain a kid 24/7. He has to entertain himself
Well, yeah,
bit.
with some toys, I'm saying. We do forget to take toys. Do we not?
Mm-hmm.
When we go to hotel rooms, because we plan on doing a lot of stuff, we do forget to take toys. And if he doesn't have something to play with, he's digging into the pens or whatever... Like your suitcases.
Whatever.
Yeah. So that's what I meant by he needs to have something to keep him busy, like his crayons and his coloring book and that stuff. You can borrow a coloring book if you want.
Yeah, maybe I will. So then that brings me to my next point of the dogs. I'm curious what other people do because my dogs are 14 years old. They still do really, really well for that age, but I do not want to kind of like kennel them because it's not something that they're used to, and they're pretty small, so like 8 and 9 pounds. So the fact that they're small, I think like bigger dogs do intimidate them because they didn't grow up with bigger dogs. So they'd be right next to, like, I'm sure bigger dogs and not get like they're used to cuddle. They're just spoiled. So
well, yeah, and the thing that's hard with that kind of thing is like I don't know how most kennels work, but from what I think, they're just there during the day. Then once they feed them after whatever and let them out at like 6 or 7, they go home till the next morning. So like if your dog is in distress, but maybe they have cameras and stuff like that
I'm
they
sure
watch.
That they
I don't
do
know
a good
how
job.
they work.
I'm sure they do a really good job. And Champ goes to lots of different ones. I just want an option of an in-house little dog, one-on-one, or like one person even for like, say, like 5 little dogs, because I just think my dogs would get really depressed, and I don't want them to like pass when I'm not there with like a heart attack or something. I don't know. I'm just really weird about it. So I like them to stay at home, and it's really hard to find a dog watcher.
And Champ, and like Champ's outside and stuff too, but Champ is easy and big dogs, and he gets along. Everything's out. I love sending him to the kennel because then I don't worry at all and any of that kind of stuff.
And you got him from you adopted him from what's it called?
A shelter.
So he was like used to being in like a kennel with other dogs.
Yeah, but it's not even that. It's like I think a lot of people would probably have trouble with the little dogs because little dogs are yappy already.
Yeah.
So when there's a bunch of dogs, I mean, just this morning, like she's leaving and I'm going to be watching the dogs now. And I said, do not bring them over this morning. I'll go leave them at your house and put them out, and I'll go get them this afternoon, because if they even see my dog here, they're going to bark for like 4 hours and I'm going to have a headache. So they're just little dogs, yap a lot. So they just need to be comfortable, and they need to be in their own home. So if anybody in the area has suggestions that they could give us for in-house, like somebody to... We're just looking for...
I remember one time we took them to a place and they said that this is when they were a little younger, because we've always been going to Florida, so we used to kennel them back. And they were like, oh, we took them in the house most days. They'd walk around the office with us. Like, like that was really nice. But I didn't even plan on that. I just can't leave them to like bark all night and just be like stressed.
And it was actually the funniest thing that made us think about it is like 2 years ago we went camping. So we took them someplace just for a weekend. And then like she must have looked at all their paperwork and stuff when we left. And when we picked them up, she's like, jeepers. She goes, I didn't know they were so old. She goes, I had to keep them by me. They weren't going to die on my clock. Like she was really stressed out because she didn't realize that they were so old, and maybe they're not used to little dogs that are so old, like kenneling them. So I don't want to put no pressure on anybody else like that. So it's easy if they're just in the house.
And they're not dying. They're very healthy. But I just think like you can die of a broken heart if I'm gone for 2 weeks and they're in an unfamiliar place.
Yeah, they get really sad. They're just, so yeah, we're just, anybody in the area or even not in the area, just some other suggestions.
So what a kennel suggested to me was, and maybe some of you will suggest this too, but I just don't feel like it's a good enough solution for me, is they said like drop the dogs off like for a day here, a day there, so they get used to it. And I mean, I guess that is a really good idea, but then at the same time, I don't know I don't really know if that's like going to work.
Well, and we do take Champ frequently. That's why I love it. I'm so comfortable with it. I love it. We just frequently drop him off, and he likes it. He comes back. It's nice. I mean, I'm very comfortable with my situation.
Even when Champ gets older, I think you're going to be fine with it. He's
because he's getting used to it, and we've been doing weekends, which is really nice. Because before we used to have somebody just come here on the weekends and kind of take care, but it's actually a lot nicer just knowing we don't have to worry. And he likes it. I think he likes it. He comes home a little hoarse sometimes because I do think he must bark a little bit.
Yeah, in the city, you know what they have is because Vic told me they have like doggy daycare.
They have that right by Jesse's.
Well, was that kind of like a thing then? That would be inside, right?
No, it's at the kennel, but they do have doggy daycare for like people who are training their dogs and like they have to keep going to the bathroom. They do offer that.
Oh, maybe a daycare would work though, because I would think that they'd just be inside hanging like a kids' daycare.
During the day, but at night, at night it's a kennel service too.
Oh, you pick them up after the end of the day.
But you could call there and see what they have to offer. I don't know.
Well, yeah, because Vic said that his friend would go to work every day in the city or whatever and drop him off at doggy daycare, and it was really expensive.
Yeah, but I think it's so they don't chew up your house.
Well, it's cool. I mean, I was like really happy his friend did that because he's like, I don't want my dog to be alone by himself. I'm like, that's a really good idea, and they just play with your dog all day.
Well, and it's usually. From what I don't know what Victor's was, but most of them that are at a kennel too, so they're there anyway. So if you just want to drop them off, it's just like a service for during the day. Especially like you say, if you're going to worry, some dogs get anxiety being by themselves, chew up everything, and so then it's just easier.
Yeah, I'm gonna just call just to see what they have because why not, right?
Yeah. It is, and it is a struggle. Like even yesterday when I said to Nicole last night, I was like, well, maybe I can still try to talk Dad into it and we'll just drive separate and we'll just stay like one day or whatever and come back. And she's like, well, now I already don't have dog plans. So one of you got to be home for the dogs. I said, okay, that makes my mind up. We'll just stay with the dogs, because she's like, I didn't have no time to plan. They're on medicine,
right? One of them's on medicine right now. And I would have had to get someone ahead of time to teach them everything.
I'm looking around in my kitchen right now, and I still have my Christmas cards up that are pictures. Like, does everybody keep those? Because everybody uses really nice pictures these days, so I really like to keep them, and I know some people don't. If they come as the magnet ones, I throw them on the fridge in the garage, but most of them don't. And I was wondering, I told Nicole that somebody should make, or if there is a book that you can slide that size cards into so that you can just keep them because a lot of these are cousins, kids and stuff that I don't get pictures of regularly. And so it's like a nice, how big are those? I don't think they're quite 5x7, 4x6 pictures of their kids. And they're just really nice. And if I take them down, I'm afraid I'm going to throw them somewhere and they're going to get all wrinkly. So right now they're still.
No, wait, 4x6 I think is a normal size picture. So those are a little bigger because there's a lot of albums that hold 4x6s.
Oh yeah, they're not 4x6s. No, they might be 5x7s.
I think they are. If not, they're between the two, but they're all pretty relatively the same size. But yeah, definitely bigger.
They don't fit into my album or my thing, so they're not 4x6. Because actually, I did try. Yeah, they're bigger. But anyways, I don't know if they make some kind of book that you can just keep like a big photo album that you could slide them into every year. But if you know of one, put it on the page because I'm interested.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Did you want to talk about the birthday party yesterday?
Yeah. So we went to a first birthday party and it was really fun. I was really excited ahead of time because I know Arrow loves hanging out with kids. And so his cousin turned 1. So one-year-old birthday parties are super fun. There was lots of kids there. And Arrow was having a really good time. He came to breastfeed to me like 3 times. And I just say, not right now. And then he'd go and play. It was really nice. He never does that at home.
And I did not even notice that he did that to her. It must have been that quick because I said to her, because we were there a while, like we were the last ones to leave actually. Mm-hmm. And I said, I never saw, he went all day without breastfeeding. And she's like, he did come up to me, but I just said, no, not right now. And he went and played because I didn't even notice. So it was that little.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, if I can, usually I'll kind of try to say that sometimes if it's not at the best place. And usually he'll just say, no, now is the time. But he said, okay. He just like got up and went and played. And he was giving hugs and kisses and running around and wanted the balloons, helped unwrap presents.
His favorite was his 2-year-old second cousin. She's probably about 2.5 now. That was she was the oldest. Was she the oldest of the little kids?
Yeah.
She was the oldest of the little kids there. And that was who he liked playing with the most. Like they would just holler things back at each other, imitate each other. If one hit a box, the next one would hit a box. If one going, the other one went, So we're going to start setting up some play dates with her because they played so good. There was a boy his age exactly, and them two didn't really play, did they?
No, that's interesting.
And even the boys that are a little bit younger, he didn't play with.
No, he just wanted to. He really liked her.
Yeah, and then I'd say this one he played with the second was the birthday girl, and she's 1, so she's 6 months younger, but. He went by her a little bit, but that was it. It was the 2 girls, and there was actually a lot of boys there.
And there was other girls there too, so maybe he can just feel that those 2 are his cousins. Those are the only 2 that were his cousins, right? Oh, and
out of the girls,
out of all of them, besides the babies that really can't.
Well, and Levi.
Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, he really liked Cora. And I guess he only played with Evie when he was when she was playing in a great big car and he was pushing her around and stuff, right?
Yeah.
That was about it. But yeah,
him and Cora are gonna be. I'm really excited. I want to get her at least once every other week to come to the house because she'll go to daycare anyways, and just like let him and her play and grow like a really good relationship with each other because that's really important and it's fun. Like it's way more. Look how much easier it was yesterday. I felt like watching him because he was so happy and entertained. We didn't have to be, the little kid.
Yeah, he was just like, there was so much stuff to do that it was never a time of like us having to entertain him. He definitely entertained himself yesterday.
Off of little things though too, which was really nice. Like just
running on the big floor because it was at a at a hall, so there was actually like room to move and all that kind of stuff. And I don't even feel like he ate that much. He didn't even want to stop and eat. He just wanted to play. But then when we brought him back, we all came over here last night to my house. Them guys and Jesse and Ashley, and we got some pizzas. And we just sat and visited or whatever. And he was hyper then when we had to entertain him.
He actually, I didn't even get a chance to tell you, but he did not sleep good last night.
He was that wound up.
Yeah, like in the middle of the night, it was actually really horrible because what I think it was is he was hungry because he didn't eat a lot. And I tried to feed him like pizza later at night and he didn't want to eat that either. So he was crying, I think, because he'd wake up and my breasts weren't producing enough milk because, usually it's there, but it's not like a whole meal. And so he was getting really frustrated. So I woke Vic up and I was like, we might have to like make him something to eat. And then then he got really like then he started to go back to sleep. But Vic got up a couple times. I had to get up quite a few times, and I didn't sleep for probably 3 or 4 hours straight because I was just like, is he sick? What's going on? Does his stomach hurt? And I was just watching him. But he's totally fine this morning. He ate like a whole peanut butter and jelly for breakfast. He's just, I think, hungry.
And he's done that before when he's been hungry. And that's one thing they'll laugh, like sometimes because when I come over there, they'll be feeding them breakfast if they're both off or whatever. And I'm still over there for the day. And like 10:30, I'll be making him lunch to feeding him by 11. And they're like, he just ate. And I'm like, he takes so much better naps for me. If I nap him before he eats lunch, he doesn't sleep good. But if he eats, he'll sleep 2.5 hours. Like he just rests and he goes to sleep fast. Like he just will cuddle right up and just be asleep in like 2 minutes. He likes his belly to be full.
He loves sandwiches.
Yeah, he does.
So that's why I resorted
cute.
to peanut butter and jelly this morning when I told Vic, I was like, I wouldn't even try to make eggs because you'll pick around those. I was like, make him a PB&J, and Vic's like, he like the whole thing because he like loves taking bites.
He likes, if you make a sandwich, like you got to make sure you're close to him and it's something he can eat because he'll look like right at you, bite. He'll go to every single person at the table, and I think he likes bread already. He likes bread, pasta. Yeah. He likes but he really likes fruit and stuff too. But he's pretty funny with his like what he wants to eat.
Yeah, because I just started following this Instagram account, and shoot, I don't know what it's called, but it has like all these different ideas for what you can feed a toddler, because it's hard and overwhelming. And like one day he loves peas, and then the last couple days, and so I stocked up on peas, and so the last couple days I've been trying to feed him peas with his pasta, and because I made pesto pasta, and like he didn't want the frozen ones. Okay, so then I opened up a can. I was like, let's try the canned ones. And so then I warmed them up, and he's like, no, he didn't want. He tried it. He kept spitting them out like they're gross. And I was like, does he want them cold? So I tried them in all these different varieties, and right now he won't eat peas. But he used to love peas because he'd say balls.
And he does the same. And he does the same thing with carrots and stuff. So you get really excited because And when he's like, say he's on an eating mission, even with mushmelon or carrots or whatever, like that he doesn't normally eat. I chop them up and I have them, or cucumbers. He does the cucumber stage. I chop as much of it up as I can and give it to him during that sitting instead of like waiting to give it to him later, because he'll change his mind and all of a sudden he'll act like he never even ate that when he ate a whole cup of it. Like, for that same day. Like he, and I'm sure all toddlers are like that. The only thing is a go-to is noodles. And that's what we're trying to get away from, is so much pasta.
He is pretty constipated. He's constipated when he goes to the bathroom. And it is hard for me to admit, because as a mom, like, I know what I'm doing wrong. I know that he's eating too much pasta. I know that he's eating too much like cheese and dairy. He doesn't drink milk, but he likes mac and cheese. And so even if it's Annie's organic, like, it's still not great for you. And so he really pushes to get his bowel movements out, and he turns really red, and he sometimes cries, and sometimes I have to help him. So I tell my mom, like, we really have to push water. We really have to try to get more veggies and like fiber and stuff in his diet. So we've all been trying. And my mom will find something. He eats the best for my mom, hands down. And so that's also why I worry when she's not with us, because on trips like in Puerto Rico, he didn't eat for us for like 2 or 3 days, and I was really stressed. And when he got home, I feel like mom just like got him right back fed up. Like, he was like a little bit skinnier and a little bit not, I don't know. So I like when my mom's around, because he eats really good for her. I don't know if it's the way she cuts things, or he just, I don't know. He
eats the best for me though when it's just like
you too.
Me, yeah. If Dave's in the room, he doesn't eat as well. He doesn't like distractions when he's eating. So he likes like just the one-on-one when you're just sitting there. If there's too much stuff going on, and if I paid attention to my phone while he's eating, he wouldn't like it. He basically likes me to get his food on his thing, and me to make some food, and me to eat, and like just all of us just pay attention to our plate and just eat, like nothing else going on.
And me and Vic we've been trying that the last couple nights, and me and Arrow, I put the exact same stuff on our plates: pesto pasta and peas and cottage cheese. And then Vic made Hot Pockets and White Castle burgers for himself. And Arrow wanted like a bite of his.
When was this?
This was the day before yesterday.
Oh.
And me and Arrow ate that pasta like 2 days in a row fully. But then, anyways, Arrow, we were just all eating. No one was on their phones, nothing. And he would just say, out, out. He wanted out. Like, now that he can say out, it's really hard to ignore it, because it's like I want to listen to him and understand him. So, yeah, I don't know.
And I think I think for Victor, like Victor has the same thing, does kind of the same things I do. And I think he'd honestly eat better for Victor if Victor Victor puts the food kind of unappealing sign up on the thing, like the toast will be way too overdone, too big of pieces. Because if he gets frustrated and he puts that in his mouth and then he doesn't like what it tastes like,
burping lots.
Yes, huh? If he doesn't, that's because I just had a big sip of coffee. If he doesn't like it, he spits it out, and then he doesn't want to eat anymore. So you have to like make it appealing right away, and it has to be small enough so that he just keeps going. Because once he gags on it or thinks that
he's done.
Yeah, he's done. Like might give it one more shot, but so right from the beginning you can't like I can explain it more. They're in a hurry because he's demanding. He wants to eat now. So they'll put the too big of pieces on there while they're cutting up the other stuff so that he can just start to eat. And it already will frustrate him. I just make him fuss there for a few minutes and get it all cut up and scoot it all on his plate at once. That's what I do. And then for the second helping, I'm already cutting it up. So when his first helping is gone, the whole big pile goes on there at once. So I think that's the difference right there.
Yeah.
Like it's just how it's on there. So it's weird. But
so it's different for me because for me, he wants to sit on my lap. He knows I'd let him. He wants to sit on my lap or he wants to run around, take a bite and go play. So lately that's what I've been having to do. I know you're not supposed to do it, but it's the only way that if it's just me and him, I can get him to eat is I sit on the floor with whatever it is, a bowl, and then he'll take a bite and he'll kind of just like walk away and then he'll come back for another bite because he does not like if I put him in his high chair. He's best in his high chair for my mom. And yeah, I think Vic is a little like impatient with that type of thing. And I think he can kind of feel the energy. So I think that's what it is with Victor. I think it's something different for all of us. And Dad just gives him the wrong stuff and way too big of bites. Oh,
yes. I don't let Dave feed him, and that's horrible. But yesterday at the party, we looked to see what he's having because Errol will ask for something, and Dave does not say no. He let him take a bite of a hard carrot. I was like, you can't just do that, Dave. Like, no. He lets him eat anything he wants out of his and bites so big, like, and then just take off with them. So we don't really allow Dave to feed him meals, do we?
No, and people definitely think like yesterday my grandma was like, can he have chips or what can he have? Because the other kids had chips, but she was older than him. And I said, I mean, yeah, like sometimes I give him a chip here or there, but I'm like really, I'm not about to like follow him around and all that right now. Cause she's watching him and I don't want to like be on her back, but I was like, well, there's crackers. You could give him some crackers and stuff. And then someone's like, why wouldn't you let him have chips? And then I was like, oh, because they're really pointy and they can get stuck in your throat, I guess. And I know people look at me like I'm crazy. But at the same time, I just said, we work way too hard. I work way too hard to, give him the best life and keep him, thriving and alive for a little chip to like ruin this. So I just feel like if I can control it, I will.
And if you let him walk around with the chips like that, he's going to want to eat chips. He has no interest. Besides, he asks us and we don't hand it to him. A Dorito or a chip, if somebody's eating them, we don't give them to him. So he's over it. It's not like he wants it or whatever. But if that's all he wanted, what if that's all he wanted to eat was chips? Like, get me a bowl of chips. Get me a bowl of chips.
We made the mistake with chocolate. That's all he wants to eat. Chocolate.
I didn't do that.
I did it. Chocolate. Those, oh my gosh, what are they called? I don't know. But
Lindor chocolates.
Yes. He wants it for breakfast. He screams if I don't give it to him for breakfast. He'll want it for lunch. Like, it's really bad.
He loves things with a wrapper, so he loves to unwrap them and then take a bite. But that's one thing he'll come back for, like, bites until the whole thing's gone. And
yeah, if you throw it away mid, he'll know. He'll say, where is it? And he wants another one. I'm like, oh my gosh. So Hershey Kisses is like his thing right now too.
It's my fault. I haven't done any of that. The only thing I've given him is a cookie, and I thought it was funny because it was actually fun. Like,
this is funny.
He has a little kitchen set in my living room, and he has fake cookies that he'll just pretend to put in his mouth. So we had those Chips Ahoy soft cookies. So I put one in the microwave inside there, and he'll take a bite of it, and then he'll put it back. Like, he doesn't eat the whole cookie because he knows we never allow him to.
No, wait. So tell them. No, first you said bring me a cookie, and then he's used to bringing you the fake cookie.
Yeah.
So then he opened up the microwave and he grabbed the real cookie and he started walking to my mom. Like halfway there, he realized, oh, this feels a little bit different. So then he like took a bite and it was real. And he's like, oh.
Yeah, he was really surprised. But he still came over and gave me a bite. And then I said, go put it back in the microwave. Well, he'd forgotten about it. And like 2 hours later, Dave was here. Like it was later. And I said, oh, go get Grandpa one of your cookies. It's always the fake cupcakes and the fake cookies and eggs. And we tell him make us eggs and the thing. We pick different foods for him to bring us, like what they are. And he went and he got it, and he started walking towards Dave, and Dave was used to like his fake cookie. And how did it work? He took a bite.
So then he went to take a bite, and Dad's like, "Oh no!" And then he's like, "That's a real cookie." Now, Jenny, that is something you would do.
But it was so funny because I don't know. But why was he weirded out even that he was taking a bite of the fake one? Did he think that it actually broke in his mouth or what?
So. Yeah, I think he thought, because like Dad usually is so like chill about that stuff. Like oh no, it's fine. But yeah, he was actually worried.
Yeah. And the funniest thing too, that I think is funny with little kids is I have, like I told you before, I have a sprawled out toys or whatever. So the other day we were at his great grandma's, and she has those little sun things in the window. I don't know if you know, like the little dancing things. If the sun charges them up and then they move. And Arrow was really dancing because he likes to dance to those at his great grandma's. So I ordered a couple from Amazon and I put them on the windowsill, some little flower pots. He wasn't even here 30 seconds and he already walked, and he goes and he scours the room just to see if there's anything he didn't see the last time he was here, or if his toys are all in place. Oh my gosh, he had those in 1 second. I haven't even gotten them charged up from the sun yet because it's cold here. So hopefully it's pretty soon by the next time he comes over. But he had those off, and it's just funny just how much they notice. If I hang a new picture on the wall, he goes and points to it. He knows everything that I've done different.
He's very observant.
Since the last time he was here. He looks to see what's on my table, on my counter. Where if something's missing, if say he had a ball down here and then I put it back up in the playroom upstairs, he looks around, the ball's missing. He wants me to go get it. Like
he's gonna love Elf on the Shelf next year.
Isn't finding him, yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like he already does that. I'm excited for Easter egg hunting for him this year. But
he's gonna love that.
You always do surprise him with something new, so he's used. I think he feels like it's like an unsaid game, like. Because my grandma, she's already ordered him his Easter present. She's nuts. So
I know, and I'm tempted. I'm looking at them right now, and this is so bad. I just ordered them in, and they just all came in yesterday or the day before, Saturday, I think. And I got this, I'm tempted to go put batteries in it and send this with them on the trip because it's actually something you can play with, and it's a little karaoke microphone, and it's got different songs and voice changer, and I'm so tempted just so that he has something in his room for the next 3 days. Yes, so that he's
you could.
I know, I'm almost, but then I don't get to show. You might have to bring him here, and I have to give it to him. Be on your way.
That's fine.
Because Dave needs help. Did he carry that thing out by himself, or is it still sitting there?
Oh, no, there's no way. It's too big.
Well, yeah, so
we can do that. So you can get it ready or whatever. Yeah. Or do you need batteries?
I already have it out of the box, and I was going to put batteries in it yesterday.
And you have batteries?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I always have batteries.
Well, no, I think it's good on a trip to bring something new because I do bring his favorite toys and they're old news for some reason, right? When you get to the hotel. So for Florida, I should get him something new as well. Maybe for the pool too. I'll get him some cool pool toys. And I saw something really cool on Instagram. It's called like a beach library. Did you see that? Mm-mm. So, it's...
Oh, yes, I did.
With all like the trucks and the pails.
They should do that at the resort.
Yeah, they should, because you don't want to pack it in your suitcase and where do you leave it after? And so that way kids have stuff to come and go with and play with. I was like, that is so smart.
It was really nice. It was like one of those things that the book libraries have, but people just shoved pails. It's like, say that we went to Florida and we bought a whole sand kit and we just leave it in there because we're not going to take it back home.
Like in Hawaii, we bought a whole new one and then we just left it because what are you going to do with it?
We didn't have no room to bring it back, right?
Right. I don't even know if we found someone to give it to or if we just left it in the room hoping someone. Yeah, it's like, what do you do with? It's not worth it to bring because it's like what? I don't know, $5, $6, $7, and then you got it all sandy.
And it takes up a lot of room. But that was a really good idea.
I know.
They do have a little beach.
They should do it at but they should do it at even here in Michigan at the local beaches. So that way you're not bringing sandy toys in and out of your car. Okay, let's see what we can go find. And mostly everyone
is
would leave them.
respectful and put it back. Yes,
and then add to it,
That's what I'm saying. People would add to it. It'd probably get a lot of toys.
I'm because what a good idea.
And even people who don't use them anymore could go shove them in the, the big sand, the thing or whatever. The only bad thing is if it's like bad weather and it'd have to be something where it actually closes, more so that.
Yeah, I guess in Michigan.
So they're not blowing all over.
In California, you wouldn't probably need that, but in Michigan for sure.
But that's the first time you must have saw the same face.
That's cool, yeah.
Yeah, and I saw it too.
I was like, oh, that's such a good idea. I wish we had that because now that I think about it, in Hawaii, I bought him a beach ball, a water ball, a water gun thing, and sand toys. And now I feel like it would have just been nice to either borrow someone's or leave it for other kids, So Anyways.
And I think Fat Tuesday's coming up. Do you guys celebrate that?
Is that this Tuesday?
Is it?
Yeah, I think Ash Wednesday is Wednesday, right?
I don't know. I'd have to look at the
I think
calendar.
it is now
I'm
that you
thinking
say that.
But what is your favorite flavor of punchki? How do you say it? Puchki. I'm Polish and I can't even say the word right. But I think my favorite is, I still think it's got to be like a...
Yeah, it's this Tuesday.
Like a raspberry with sugar on top. What's yours?
So when they hear this, Tuesday is going to already be passed.
Oh, it's already going to be
so
passed.
So I hope that you enjoyed Fat Tuesday if you celebrate that. What's yours?
I think raspberry with like the sugar all the way around it. What's yours?
That's mine too.
But I always love a good custard donut too.
But I like the homemade ones. The packed ones, just the pack of 6 at Walmart, I don't think really hit
I like them from
craving.
the bakery. Yeah, I like them from the bakery.
And you know what I really been liking are turnovers.
Oh, and I like blueberry too. So I could like a good blueberry one too.
Yeah. I guess I haven't had one in years. I should have one. Because I usually get other types of donuts, not the filled with the... But those are really good.
The best day to get them is on that day, though, because they're really good.
Yeah, I'll look. I'm sure we're in like a nice place of Ohio.
I'm sure you'll see some.
I'll get some. Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. Victor's going to be like, we got to get going on the road. But thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye-bye.